Hey guys, so my video today is just going to kind of talk about dreams and just not getting discouraged whenever you think that you should be or you feel like you're about to be, because life is not going to do exactly what you want it to, and if it is doing everything you want it to, please give me some advice, because I have not ever had that happen for me personally. So I just want to start this video talking a little bit about my past and then kind of how I got here. So first off, I am almost finished with my bachelor's. So I've done the 4 years of college thing. And whenever I was in high school, the only thing I wanted to do was to leave my parents' house. And I only wanted to leave because my parents smoke a lot inside and it's really bad for my health. And I'm pretty sure I have asthma because of it. So I just wanted out of that environment. I wanted to do something for myself, and my parents don't have much money, and I never grew up with much money, so I just kind of wanted to change the boundaries and be independent. It was just kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to have more control over my life. So when I was in high school, I did not plan on doing a 2-year degree at all at a community college. That was like the last thing I would have ever thought about doing at that point in my life. But things happened, and when I looked at the money and the facts, I was like, you know what? I need to do a 2-year degree at a community college, and I'll just transfer my credits over. And that's exactly what I did. I spent 2 years at a community college, and you know, it really wasn't that bad. The classes were pretty easy. I didn't really make any new friends, and there was a lot of commuting back and forth, but it was close, and I saved a bunch of money. Now, when I say I saved a bunch of money, I mean like I was getting paid basically to go to school and take these classes and pass them. And they weren't hard classes, like they were super easy. And that was kind of like the best thing about it. But the biggest thing I had to deal with was the fact that my dreams were crushed. I thought it was the end of the world, you know, like I was just so discouraged because that was not what I wanted to do. But you know, you kind of have to take a step back and just be glad for things that you do have. So after my degree, I applied to 2 different colleges, and I got in at UNC Charlotte, and that's where I ended up going. And so once I did that, I had to kind of decide, you know, what about living? I could commute. It would be about 40 minutes without traffic, and you know, it was probably a smarter option because I could have went through college with no debt. But I decided to live on campus. Therefore, I do have debt now, but I'm okay with it because I think I chose the best thing for myself. But, you know, I moved on campus and I spent the past 2 years living on campus, and I am very thankful for that opportunity because that's how I met my friends now, and the roommates I have right now. I met them because they were my roommates in college for both years, and I learned a lot about myself, and not even that, but you know, I was able to see, you know, I took a different route, but it was okay because I was able to get where I needed to go eventually, and that's what really mattered to me. Now, by no means was that process easy because, you know, I got there and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I'm going to tell you a secret. You are never, ever, probably ever going to be sure what you want to do with your life. Life is not black and white, it is gray. And even now, I'm not sure if I'm going into the field I definitely want to be in for the rest of my life, but that's okay, because I'm allowed to change my mind. I'm allowed to pursue something different if I decide that this isn't for me, and I'm okay with that. And when I went in, I kept going back and forth between majors, and eventually, a whole other story, I ended up rehabilitating kind of a baby squirrel, and I raised her, and so, of course, by nature, I was inspired to go into biology because I thought it was fascinating and I wanted to do wildlife rehabilitation. Yeah, that didn't pan out. Why didn't that pan out? Because I realized I hate chemistry. I don't want to do anything with chemistry. And at UNC Charlotte, the chemistry department kind of sucks. It's not that great. And I just couldn't do it. Like, you either like chemistry or you hate it, and I hated it. So once again, I had to bite that bullet, and I kept going this entire time back and forth between being an English major. But ultimately, I decided not to be an English major because everything I saw online said, oh, I have an English degree. Yeah, it does nothing for you, basically. So I convinced myself to make English my minor and to pursue psychology as a major, which it's kind of funny because most people who go into biology, if they end up leaving biology, is they go into psychology. So I thought it's pretty interesting. It's pretty funny. But psychology is a lot easier than biology, in my opinion. It depends on what you're good at, but Yeah, the whole numbers and chemistry thing, if you're bad at it, go to psych. Psych's a lot easier. And you know, once again, I kind of dealt with some things like, this isn't exactly what I want to do, but here I am, and this is kind of what I'm doing. Every time I get a message, it's just super loud. Anyways, so after I did that, you know, I knew I wanted to go to graduate school. I wasn't really sure, but then after getting a psychology degree, since it's so general, I knew I needed to do something to further my education. So I applied to 3 programs. I applied to UNC Charlotte's Industrial Organizational Psychology program, which they only open up every 2 years. The General Psychology at UNC Charlotte, and then Human Resource Management at Western Carolina, which is an online program. And anyone who's watched my videos, you probably know I chose Western. Or more like Western chose me. I got really discouraged because after taking the GRE, I did fairly well. I did amazing on the essay, which, you know, I was really happy about that. But as far as the rest of it, I did average. I did okay. I did barely above the 50th percentile. But I was okay with that because the GRE is a whole other video topic, let me tell you. It's stupid. But you know, I got really discouraged because I got denied at UNC Charlotte for both of their programs, and that was kind of disheartening. But once again, like I've mentioned, and I want the silver lining of this video to be is that sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to, so you just kind of have to go a different path. But you don't necessarily need to think that that's a bad path or that's the wrong path, because you will eventually be where you need to be. For example, all I've wanted to do is write. I've always loved writing. Anyone who has taken classes with me all throughout high school, all I did was read and write. It was my thing. I loved it. I didn't pursue it because I didn't think I'd ever get anywhere with it. And now, here I am, after all these things I didn't want to go through. I had to change majors. I got denied for programs I wanted to be in. All of a fact of life. And I'm actually kind of really happy with where I'm at. So sometimes you just kind of have to take the path less traveled. But, you know, things do happen for a reason. I have a job now. I work in a finance department. Yeah, trust me. When you have a degree, just a little bit of tidbit of information, if you have a 4-year degree, it doesn't matter. A job does not care what your degree is in. All you say is, I have a 4-year degree, and they're like, great, we want you. Just a little bit of world advice there. But I work in a finance department. I have a psychology degree. I'm going into human resource management, and I'm still finding time to write. So, you know, I am actually really happy with all of those decisions, and I love the company I work for. It's great. I get free samples all the time. I eat all the time. We actually had potluck Thanksgiving dinner today. Oh, now I'm stuffed. But just know that no matter what happens in life, things aren't going to go the way you want them to, but you just have to kind of bite the bullet and see it for what it's worth. If I had things go the way I wanted them to, I'd be more in debt. I probably would not be on the path that I am now. I'd probably be in biology. But, you know, there's a lot of things that go into it. You know, biology, 1, like I said, I didn't like chemistry. 2, if I had had the time to dedicate to be better at chemistry, I could have done biology, but circumstances did not allow for that, which also played a lot into everything. You know, I did not grow up with much money. My parents do not have, like, any money, so I had to make the best financial decisions for myself. I needed a job, so I couldn't have more time to dedicate into internships and stuff like that, because by the time I got done working and going to school, I was exhausted. I didn't want to do anything else. And I know that there's just so much more room for things I could have done, but I didn't. And I'm strangely okay with that today. And I feel like I can just talk about this so much more in depth, and I probably will, but I'm already almost at 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop this video. But subscribe and follow me on my writing journey. Right now I'm still doing NaNoWriMo. It's week 3, and I am still on word count. Deadline. I'm on word count. I have the amount of words I should have for today. Whatever. But, you know, just continue to follow my videos and my journey, because I have lots of different journeys going on, and I would love to document them and have other people share my experiences with me. So, hey, subscribe.